Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Detective Night, Independence. And I honestly didn't get a chance to watch the other two in this series, but this is from director Edward Drake, who's been making all kinds of films over the past few years, starring Bruce Willis himself on the tail end of his career. I think the first one I watched was Breach. That was like out in space, and this one, has Bruce Willis completing this trilogy and probably was his last performance. You could tell something wasn't right, and it kind of bothers me that they kept making movies with him when they could tell something wasn't right. And not to be mean, but like, it's a bad performance, and it's very muted. It doesn't really fit. The line readings are awkward, and it's tough because it's not his fault. It's just they probably shouldn't have cast Bruce Willis into this, but they did. So the result is it's not a strong central performance for this character. His story, it winds up being a thrilling race on Independence Day when a EMT who's been battered down loses his job, winds up pretending to be a cop, and winding up being part of this whole entire hostage situation at a bank, which then includes Detective Knight's daughter, who is an EMT. Things get interesting story-wise. Now, there's some elements here from a filmmaking perspective where this actually has some inspired camera work. It has some inspired building of tension. Some of those elements work. Now, from like a script perspective, the dialogue here is blunt as hell. It's wearing its themes on its sleeves, and it has some interesting ideas in terms of like our situation with police and funding the police, and perspective on who's really valued in our society, who's out there helping people, because the whole entire crux of this thing is this disgruntled EMT who didn't get any respect, was bullied by police officers, treated like crap, loses his job and snaps. And it's one of those, this feels like this is a story of a film from the 1970s, dropped in 2023, without any of the finesse or the bite of a 1970s film. So like, this just feels blunt and off-putting in many ways, and doesn't really handle those ideas and themes in an impactful way. Just throwing out dialogue, and it's not just Willis. There's other, like, even the main performance from Jack Kilmer as this former EMT, not great. A lot of his line delivery is awkward, and like, I don't believe it. And there is a core strong emotional connection here between our protagonist, this Detective Knight, and what's going on because his daughter's involved. We get some of those elements. It's just you don't really feel it as much because the performances don't carry the weight of what this story has set up. In general, I think this is, a less than okay action thriller straight to VOD that I don't think is going to really impress anybody, and I don't think they're really going for like top-notch action thriller here. It kind of falls flat in many ways, but it does have potential, and it does have elements that do shine a bit. It just doesn't come together to deliver something of high quality and really engaging. But those are my thoughts on Detective Night Independence. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.